Entonces, ahora nosotros vamos a conocer la forma de expresar la idea de let's. Let's speak Spanish. Or let's leave class early, por ejemplo. No vamos a ver. Ok. Y como siempre, me gusta enfocar en el significado. Eso es lo más importante, el contexto. Y después podemos conocer la gramática. Ok, chicos. Entonces, ¿qué está pasando aquí? Están diciendo, crucemos la calle. So what are we saying here when we say, crucemos la calle? Because you will hear this if you are hanging out with people in a Spanish-speaking country, exploring a city, or hanging out with Spanish speakers in the United States. Crucemos la calle, sí. Let's cross the street. Exactly. Crucemos la calle. Let's cross the street. So, hemos identificado el significado. Bueno, let's cross the street. Entonces ahora examinemos la gramática. Crucemos la calle. How do we know that this is a command or a mandato? What happened to our verb? What does this look like? ¿Cuál es el infinitivo? Cruzar. So what's going on to change this verb from we cross the street, cruzamos la calle, to let's cross the street, crucemos la calle? Amelia? It's just like the subjunctive. Exactly. That's why you all should get A's on the tests on Tuesday. Because all the grammar, all your verb conjugations are what we have been doing since the beginning of the semester, for like 2 months practically. Cruzar is our verb. When we want to say, express the idea of let's, we just put it in the nosotros subjunctive form. El contexto es diferente. We're not saying like, es urgente que crucemos la calle. We're not using the subjunctive to express a recommendation or a wish or a desire or a doubt. We're simply short and sweet, very direct. Crucemos la calle. Fácil, ¿no? Muy fácil. Compremos manzanas de la frutería. ¿Cuál es el infinitivo? Comprar, ¿no? Pero en inglés, compremos manzanas de la frutería. We're saying what? Let's what? Let's buy apples from the fruit market. Exactly. Now, compremos. Let's buy. Paguemos la cuenta al contado. ¿Cuál es el infinitivo de paguemos? Pagar, ¿no? Entonces, paguemos is what? Let's pay. And my husband and I, he was a Spanish minor at CFC, but he doesn't use Spanish hardly at all anymore. But occasionally he's good at it. And when we're out at a restaurant with a group of friends or our parents or something, we'll look at each other and be like, paguemos. We're saying what? Let's pay. And that way they don't know that we're going to try to get the check. La cuenta is check. So careful, because cheque is like, old school writing out a check for payment. But cuenta is what you say when you want your check after you eat. So that's a good one to know as well when you're dining out in a Spanish-speaking restaurant where everyone who works there is speaking Spanish. You want to practice Spanish, you can be like, la cuenta, por favor. Or, of course, when you're traveling in a Spanish-speaking country, la cuenta, por favor. Pero gar, exactamente igual al subjuntivo. Paguemos, el contexto es diferente. Estamos expresando la idea de let. That's all we're doing. So it's just like the subjunctive. The regulars and irregular, everything's the same. Cargars are, go to the yod, drop the yod, change it to the opposite of what you know. So really and truly, on the test on Tuesday, you should do well because the verbs aren't tricky. You'll have to prepare. Okay, and then the only thing, you'll need to know this for the supersite, but you don't necessarily need to know this for the test. And remember, nosotros commands are not going to be on the ampliación on Thursday, so you don't even need to know it for that. But just in case, you have pronouns with nosotros commands. Like, let's sign it. For example, firmar means to sign. We're talking about el cheque. We change it to a pronoun to indicate the idea it. And what happened to our verb? We know that when we give commands, unlike the subjunctive with pronouns, typically pronouns go in front of the conjugated verb. But when we tell somebody to do something like eat it, sign it, finish it, tell her, don't tell him, whatever, we put the pronoun where? When we tell somebody to do something, where does it go? At the end of the command, right? That's why you've probably heard cállense, or you've heard cállate, the two form, or there's probably other ones you've heard before and you didn't even realize it, but you understood based on context. It goes on the end. And what happens to a command when we attach a pronoun in the nosotros form at the end of our command? What happens? Yeah, we have accent. Have you ever heard a command like that before? With a pronoun on the end? I wish my technology with this app doesn't do hyperlinks, so I couldn't play the intro to Dora. But if you've ever seen Dora, which, did any of you watch Dora when you were a kid? What does she say? Vámonos. Vámonos, that's a nosotros command. What is she saying? She tells you, let's go, which I'm like, Dora, you don't have to tell us what you're saying in English. Just say it in Spanish, we'll figure it out. Vámonos. Vámonos is the reflexive verb irse. So that's perfect. Even if Dora didn't tell us that she was saying let's go, we would have figured it out eventually. And vámonos has the reflexive pronoun nos at the end of the command. And we attach it and we get an accent mark on the second to last syllable, which on nosotros commands, the last syllable is always mos. So it's really, really easy to remember. Negative ones are just like conjugative verbs. We put the pronoun before the conjugated verb. So negatives are just like everything else, but affirm on the end. Okay, no vamos a hacer esta actividad todavía.